Hello and welcome to Wisdom Nexus session. This session is a dream come true for me because from quite some time I wanted my students to come in, contribute back to the community, and I'm really thankful for Adi Shankar to be the first student of mine to take up this initiative. And today we'll be exploring few things on studies, study techniques, and how do you plan and study when you have 30 days for exam, and the focus is going to be on chemistry as a subject. And before we begin, I would love to introduce Adi Shankar, as favorably called by his friends as Adi. He's a young adult, I would say. He's a very dynamic individual, currently pursuing his intermediate studies. And beyond the classroom, Adi is a multifaceted individual with a deep passion for various pursuits. His interests span in the realms of literature, visual arts, and photography, making him a well-rounded, creative young mind. About his educational journey, Adi brings a unique perspective to the table as he embarked on an unconventional journey of being homeschooled throughout his secondary education. Then he made a significant decision to transition to the mainstream education, where he chose to pursue mechanical engineering. This transition showcases not only his adaptability, but his commitment to exploring a diverse academic landscapes. And he has a lot of passions beyond academics. He finds joy and fulfillment in the pages of literature and strokes of paintbrush on a canvas, and also capturing moments through the lens of his camera. And I've seen his work, some of his works, which I was told they were like the beginning pieces of work, the very initial stages, and they were awesome. Welcome, Adi, and thanks for taking this invite. And though your exams are going on, you prepared this presentation for us. So we look forward to hear from you.
Thank you so much, actually, for this opportunity.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure to host you. You can share the screen.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So myself, Adi Shankar, and as how Auntie just so lovelily introduced me, I am doing my inter, and this is a short presentation on how you can cover your subjects within 30 days before exams. So going to the first slide, this here I have written down a few techniques on how you can study. All in all, it can be used for any subject really. Here are like 6 methods I use personally while studying. The first one out here is blurting. So blurting actually is a pretty simple step, and it's actually looked, it's really a simple thing. What you do is you read something that is new to you. You read it out and try to understand what it is. After you have done so, without looking at whatever you have read, you just write down physically on a piece of paper or a book what you understood and what you remember in your brain from what you read. So you will miss a few parts of whatever you're writing. You will miss few parts. You will feel like improvising a few parts. Once you have written that down, now you go back to what you have read and see what you missed out, and now you can like underline where you missed stuff, or you can correct what you missed. So blurting actually helps really well because you know what you wrote and you know what you have understood. You just have to learn what you haven't grasped as of such. The next one is imagine while you read. So especially in chemistry, when you read about chemical bonding or ionic bonding, Usually in textbooks, we have like small pictures of the bonds or the atoms or the molecule structures. You imagine them in your own creative way. It will help you recollect it when you're writing your exams or when you're taking tests or stuff. Your own creativity will actually help you because it's easier to remember stuff that you have kept in your mind as like an image than to like remember long paragraphs and stuff. uh, the the next one is maintaining a notebook. So a single notebook, if you can maintain for a subject or for a topic, it's very much helpful because you can just get back to that whenever you need and however you need. You don't have to look through with different books, different pages. You can just go back to what you're reading or what you had read to just revise and stuff. The next one is confidence is key. Now, well, of course, confidence is key, but well, what I mean here is once you have read whatever the subject is or whatever the lesson is, you must be confident enough to write it all down. Because once you write it down, it is like mentally locking it into your brain. If you can't write that down, if you don't have the confidence to write that down still, that means you need a little bit more of practice. You need to write and practice more on the same subject. Take breaks. Of course, this is very important. Your brain will not, it doesn't have the capacity to just keep on running for long periods of times. It works best when you give short moments of break between study hours. Suppose, let's give an example. If you're studying for the past 1 hour or 1.5 hours, taking a 15-minute break will only improve your next 2 hours or next 2.5 hours of studies. Otherwise, you would just run out in the next 15 to 20 minutes and you would get distracted and just too tired of all of it. Last but not least would be connecting the dots. As you read paragraphs or as you read whatever you're learning, try to connect them with the previous topics or with the upcoming topics. So this will help you keep a mental flow chart. So as you start reading, you will understand it in a single flow, which will help you like just recollect it much more easily. Um, that's that. Here are a few more tips. I'm not sure if you've heard of the flow state. The flow state is when you start doing something and it just goes on with your mind completely focused. A flow state needs zero distractions, and it needs to be planned out well. Here, to get into that flow state, you would have to like keep your distractions away completely, like phones, social media, etc., and get into your own study environment. Kind of isolate yourself, to be exact, with just whatever material you have and whatever you have to study. The next one would be use your hands. Now, this is a bit personal, I say. This is something I use very much. As you use your hands, like I'm doing right now, to, while you're reading, um, the mental and physical parts of your body are in connection. So as you would understand it better and much more easily if you would, use your hands and like try to give it emotion when you're reading. It will just lock into your mind very much more deeply, as I would say. The Here, keep going back. What I mean by keep going back is keep revising whatever you have read. Do not leave something once you feel you're confident enough. Sometimes we might feel like we are there and we are able to completely write it down, or we have understood the subject fully, but that wouldn't be the case if you would keep going back to that in now and then, maybe once in 2 days, or maybe after every session of studying another subject, it would just be more fluent in your mind. You would just have it at any time you need it. Clearing your space, in what I mean is, clearing your study environment, like your study table, or your place where you keep your books, or place where you keep your bags, and stuff. Decluttering is very, very important, because having the clutter will just slow you down, or just mentally put you down, because of all the unnecessary items that you have surrounded yourself with. Just keep what you need. Like, suppose you're studying chemistry, you can keep all the other subject books aside, so that you'll not have other distractions, like, oh, maybe I have that subject left, or maybe I have this chapter left. Just keep that one subject and that one book, textbook, notebook, and just read that out, study that, and then we'll see what is next with other subjects. Uh, Day planning is very, very important. Now, suppose you're going to college, or you're going to school, or you're homeschooling, whatever it is. Planning out your day is very, very important, because it not only sets an ideal environment or an ideal feel for the whole day. It just helps you organize and go through with stuff much better. In the mornings, if you're a morning person, it's better to wake up early, say around 5:36. Get all your chores done, and get to the studies before your mind slows down. Mornings are usually very good for revising or studying new material, whichever is up to you. It really depends on person to person. I personally would keep revising whatever I have studied the day before for the mornings, so that I am sure that whatever the subjects or the topics I have done yesterday are clear in my mind, and um, logged in, and then I would go to the next new topics. Um, your whole day, if you can, just mentally plan it. You don't have to write it down, or put it up very hugely, because then it would, if suppose somewhat due to some situations you are not able to follow the plan, you might feel guilty, or you might just feel sad about that. So just have small mental plan of the next 2 or 3 hours, whatever you're going to do. It will just help you be more organized and balanced. Do not neglect your food timings, your health, your exercise, and stuff like that, because giving breaks, having food on time, and exercising in a daily basis will only help you study better, and understand and keep your brain filled with new blood. um, of course, exercising actually, like in between studies, actually helps understanding whatever you're reading much better. Because your brain will have, well, if you have been studying for an hour or two, you've been sitting, you've been sedentary for the past 2 hours. Having like a walk, or just a mild stretch, will just help you feel better, and keep your what do you call it, keep your mind up, awake, keep you awake. uh, One step at a time, of course. We cannot just go to the last step, or skip a few steps and just get into it right away. Now, coming back to chemistry here, if you're 30 days behind, 30 days before your exams, like me right now, you just have to look at the whole syllabus first. Suppose you have 30 or 30 chapters or 28 chapters. Plan it out for the next 2 days. Um, think about it as the first step. Plan for the next 2 days, implement it, schedule your day for the next 2 days, and try to cover whatever you have planned for the 2 days. Once you have done that, once you're confident that you're able to do that, go for the next few days. Just don't have it all out and try to complete it in one go. It'll just keep you back. Next would be stick to the plan no matter what. Just no deviations, no distractions, because you only have 30 days and 1 month, and you have to clear one subject. I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's not easy either. It would need a lot of dedication, which we have to do on ourselves. Next step would be see the progress as you stick to the plan. Of course, you will see the progress, and take revision tests. Use uh, previous year papers. It helps you understand what you have missed out. Once suppose you have like completed 5 or 6 chapters out of the 30. Now you take a few previous year papers, you check what are the answers you know. Now, suppose in those 5 chapters, you have missed a topic, you will come to know in those years, in those question papers. So you can just go back, revise that, and you will be good to go. And then you can go to the next few chapters. And the final step, of course, after the 30 days of doing all this planning, of course, you will see the sweet, sweet, sweet fruit of hard work. You will do well in your exams for sure. And then we can celebrate with the summer holidays, of course. Here's an example in drawing analogies in chemistry. Chemical Avengers. This was actually given to me by Auntie. It's such a smart idea, actually. Here you can see they have given an example of chemical bonds being connected to like the Avengers from the Marvel universe. How in Marvel there are two sides and they come together and form a single unity of bond. Here they have given an example of sodium and chlorine coming and joining together forces to form sodium chloride. Sodium and chlorine being on two opposite sides of the periodic table come together to form a very strong bond, sodium chloride. There's also an example of how you can recollect Iron Man for iron, Fe, and Captain America's shield for oxygen being the circle, and how Iron Man and Captain America come together again to form H2O, which is water, which is very important, um, and form a very strong bonding force. Here, I think Auntie would like to speak.
Yeah, thank you, Adi. It's coming out beautifully. Fantastic, nice shares. And I totally agree with you when you say, like, how to plan 30 days. It's better when you start just to plan for 2 days and let that plan be a doable plan where, you stretch yourself a little, not too much, not too little. If you stretch too much, you'll be exhausted. If you don't stretch yourself a little, then it's not motivating enough. So plan it in that way and do those 2 days, and only then either plan for the next 28 days or plan for next 8 days, and then after 8 days plan for 20 days. So that way, you're not overwhelmed with the amount of studies to be done. So this had happened to me in my 10th standard. We had preparatory. There's 1 month for preparatory, and like one of my very good friend, a very studious student, I saw her do a planner for next 30 days, and I was so inspired. I also sat, created a beautiful planner with all colors and everything. But by the time I finished, it was a little overwhelming for me, and I procrastinated next 2 days, before starting. So I suggest, my students, and even now, like if I have to start some big project, instead of taking the whole project and start, like first 2 days, I plan something a little simple, easy, but little pushing also. It should just motivate me enough. So try to do that. Okay. So these are the some core key tips, which can be used to maximize your studies in the last 30 days. So first and foremost is your mindset. Okay. So when I say mindset, like what is that you are thinking? What is that you're feeling? It could be like, you're feeling, oh my God, I, just lost this whole year and now I have 30 days. Like, girl or boy, what were you doing? Like, you have messed it up. Okay. If that is the language or words happening in your head, then better change that. You should tell yourself, it's okay. Past is gone. I can't do anything about that. What is that I'm going to do now? So now I have 30 amazing days. Okay. Look at the language, look at the words. Okay. Instead of putting yourself down, you're holding yourself high, saying that you have another 30 days. And if some student is watching this video and he has or she has just 10 days, celebrate, be happy you have 10 days. Okay. So look at it with this glass or this framework. Okay. And then also tell yourself, I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to give my best. And if you are one of the people like who believe in God, then seek God's blessing, or say universe is helping me to achieve whatever I want to achieve. That makes you feel good, and when you feel good, you can study better. And then sorry, strategic planning is like something which I said, like 2 days, 8 days, 20 days, or 2 days plus 28 days. Or if you have just another 10 days, then plan for 1 day first and then for the next 9 days. So break it down and don't over plan. Like don't try to push yourself too much on the plan. Let it be a doable plan. And if you finish studying that part, what you have planned for the day, take a break. And if you have some more time, then you can study another topic. That's okay. But whatever you put for the day should be a doable task. Okay? And then, as Adi was mentioning, take breaks. Okay. But I have a word of caution here. Break shouldn't be over exciting. It shouldn't be like, you want to stay in the break forever kind of a feeling. Break should be something which should relax you, and different things relax different people. For somebody, listening to music is relaxing. For somebody, listening to music may bring up so many memories which are not wanted during study time, right? So you should learn and explore what relaxes you. For somebody, it could be talking to their parent, talking to their friend. It could be anything. Explore, take breaks. It is said that, in the one of the techniques which I usually recommend is Pomodoro. Again, see, the techniques depends on each student, but generally Pomodoro works. Study for about 20 to 25 minutes, then take 2 minutes to 5 minutes break. And after 4 sessions like that, take a longer break. Okay. And in each this break, keep yourself, what you say to yourself positive. That's very important. And combat procrastination. Sometimes, you are in a break, okay, 5 minutes, 5 minutes are up, then you tell yourself, I'll take 5 more minutes. Okay. Let that not happen. What you should do is, the moment your time is up and your mind is coming up with excuses or ideas, or something more exciting to do, or what if I take a break today and start from tomorrow, kind of things are, it keeps on pushing hour by hour. Tell yourself, like, I'm going to start now, and count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and start. Don't give your mind too much time to think and come out with new excuses. Okay. Even if it's a small paragraph you're going to read, like, count from 5 to 1 and start reading that paragraph. And once you are into it, the flow will happen. The procrastination is until you start is the major problem. Okay. And the next tip would be to set solid boundaries. Here, when I say solid boundaries, it is all of this what we were talking now is the boundaries and guidelines framework you're going to set for yourself, right? So there is another part which I want you to focus on, the people around you. It's like your loved ones, your friends, your teachers, your neighbors, even your tuition teachers. Sometimes people assume that by being strict and by putting you down, saying little harsh things, they can motivate you. Okay. So it could be because of their own upbringing and their own belief system. But usually those words, instead of inspiring, they tend to demotivate us, make us feel bad, and study becomes a struggle. If that is happening, okay, listen to them, but what you tell yourself matters the most. You tell, okay, it's their view, they are like this. By doing this, they think they can motivate me, but that's not needed. But they are an adult, or they might be an authority figure, or your own good friend. Okay, so listen, but talk to yourself what you need to hear. Okay, that is important. And then, like, I have seen friends also, like my students keep telling me about these friends who, two type. One is like, they study a lot, okay, but then they'll come and tell you, array, I didn't study anything, yeah, like, no, man nahi, like, maine nahi pada, like, so many things. They'll make you feel that they're not studying, and they'll be happy to see you not study, okay, but they'll be diligently working day and night. Okay, so that's one group. The other group, they make you feel so small, saying that like I studied everything, I know everything. You give me the book, I can omit it immediately. Okay, anything you ask me in the book, I know that kind. Okay, or then there are some genuine people who don't want to study. Okay, due to various reasons. Okay, it could be studies is not their forte, they don't want to study, they have interest elsewhere, but they're pushed to study, or they might be going a thing in their life where they are not motivated to study. So, but when they talk, make sure that their belief system doesn't affect you. Okay. And there's one more category of students like whom I see, like, very sensitive kids. And I love those sensitive students of mine. What happens is if their friend is going through an issue, it starts to affect them. So you know, if you are one of them, then what I want you to do is, listen to your friend and see what best you can do. Okay. Do it, then close it there when you sit to study. And if those thoughts keep coming back to your head, tell yourself, let me finish this study and then I will see how I can help my friend. Okay. So that's the setting boundaries part. And importantly, whatever you plan, whatever environment you have, whatever study material you have, at the end of the day, you have to take action. Without action, there's nothing happens, whether it's a project or it's a uh, with studies, or you're working in corporate, or whatever you're doing, you're a homemaker, you plan to keep your house neat, and if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. You have all the material as a student, you don't take action, then no, you'll be able to do only a partial justice. There are some kids, like, they can hear it in one day in the school, and even after 10 years you ask them about that concept, they can reproduce. But not everybody is like that. Okay, you tend to forget, and for the things to go from short-term memory to long-term memory, you have to keep revising. So take consistent action. Okay, so thank you. Yes, Adi, you can take back the controls.
No, I just would like to add like a point that you said to the point you said. Having less days actually would just make you work harder. It's actually much more better, I feel, because you'll have a kind of good stress actually.
Yes.
Of course, that good stress should not turn into something more than just studies related. It shouldn't take over all of your time, but having that good stress will only motivate you more and push you like um, to your limit, to study and get all the things done.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's a very valid point. I'm hearing stories of, some of my friends' kids and relatives' kids, like, they're going through panic attacks as the exams are approaching. It's very natural because the whole society is making the board exams bigger than they have to be. And
Yes.
now, along with board exams, you have competitive exams you have to take up, towards your graduation. So all of that adds up, and like, there are a lot of strategies to cope with this. And maybe we can take one more session sometime on the same platform about how to deal with this study stress.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, right. It's needed. And yeah, please continue.
Yeah, that's how you can like probably you know, plan your days or plan your next 30 days for the studies. Well, I have like we have a Q&A or like a quiz of sorts if everyone would like to participate.
Okay. Okay. Ranjini, would you like to share like how the session was?
Yeah, the very useful session was very useful. But I would like to share some of the tips with other students as well from Rochana's class also, and my son Rishi is also on the line, and it can be shared. Although they have combined science, not specifically chemistry. These are some of the tips which kind of cuts across different subjects as well. You know, it's very useful tips and strategies. So I would request you to share this recording. And you also mentioned about stress management.
Yes.
If you can give us a bit of advance notice, I can share it among
Definitely,
other
definitely.
students also. It's
We'll
very
do that.
important, and it's at the right time.
Yes, yes,
actually.
yes. Hopefully, I can do this within another week. I'll really try my level best to, you know, come up with the next session within a week and share you the details earlier so that like you all can plan for it.
Okay. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I have.
Yeah,
I
we
shall
can.
share the details.
Yeah, and if it is available, this I think they need to revise it every 6 months. Go through this session, you know,
Yeah.
to yeah, that would be useful if we can if they can watch it again after a few months.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for organizing the wonderful session.
Yeah. My pleasure, and thanks to Adi for agreeing in such a short notice to, you know, come up with this and work with me yesterday and, you know, deliver it today. It's not a small feat. Even his exams are going on. So
No
I'm
issues
really
at all,
grateful
Adi.
for him.
All the very best, Adi. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for attending.
Yeah. Rochana, would you like to share your views?
It was a very useful session, and it reminded me to put in some more effort than I'm doing right now. And yeah, it just refreshed my mind on how to study properly.
Thank you. Rishi, would you like to add something?
No, not really. I think my mom said
Okay.
yes, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Uma?
Yeah, happy morning and happy new year greetings to Eleva team and Gowthami Saraf, Adi Shankar. Such a very timely and well organized and well put across session, and the flow of the content that you provided, Adi, was really exceptional and nice for the students and also parents like us. You know, like I would say, with respect to me personally, I used to think I really love to guide my child how to plan his study, and because how to sit across and plan the lessons, because I see him planning for the whole month, left over 1 month. So he plans across, and I could really relate to how it has conspired me to sit over here, because I have never been to such sessions, and though I loved to, but this is addressing those kind of queries, how to plan it over, distribute it, start with 2 days and then get along. Very nice and insightful for the boundaries especially, and insightful for parents like us also. And yeah, we have to chew it across, and I will share the recording with them once he's there. And good luck. I'm looking forward more and more.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you so much.